How is this none of this falling? Okay, from the depths. What the hell is going on? Okay, something is definitely broken here. Hey guys, I'm Rod the Fox and welcome back to From the Depths. And today we are going to be redesigning the cargo ship. Yes, because there off camera I thought of a redesign for the cargo ship that's going to make it look completely different than what it currently does. Because this design, if I must be honest, looks a little bit too ridiculous. And after reading the comments you guys after leaving on my videos, I think I have a bit more of a concrete plan on what to do. And I might also swap out the armor for this as well, because one person mentioned that metal is a bit too OP for us due to its stats. Oh, you freaking idiot. That's because there's more blocks on these pieces. Frig. Well, time to fix this problem. Whoa, I just seen that freak out inside the screen. I want you guys to see this. How does this make sense? There's nothing attached to this, yet it was still somehow there. How is this none of this falling? Okay, from the depths. I just noticed this. What the hell is going on? Okay, something is definitely broken here. Here we go. Finally managed to get that chopped off without running the issues. I had to restart the whole friggin' designer. I don't know what caused that. And the funny thing is, there's no mention of it in like the bug issues, so I don't know what that's about. And speaking of stuff like that, actually, apparently version 3.3.0 is currently in beta. Now, I have no clue what in the hell that even entails, but I think it's going to be interesting once it gets released. Okay, I got all the metal armor stripped off of it, and I even removed the two outer sides of storage crates on the bottom, and I even filled in the areas of wood here, and that's I'm currently putting in slopes. And that's not looking quite right to me. Maybe it'll look better if I move some of these around. One thing that someone's been telling me, they've been leaving a lot of comments in my Run of Dead videos. So I forget your name currently. Thinking it's not exactly my strong suit. I almost said throng, yeah. If that's not an example of thinking not being my strong suit, frankly, I don't know what is. But anyway, they said that we use the metal armor, like I mentioned, was a little bit OP. So that's why I'm going to be making this purely out of wood. Now, this isn't going to quite fit in with the other aircraft, especially the higher tier ones. The lower tier ones, if we have enough resources to spawn these in, yeah, this would definitely look the part then. But when it comes to like the lightweight alloy ships, even the metal ships, no. This will not look the part whatsoever. And like I mentioned, I do have a plan for this, because currently the previous design I had in mind, I feel was a little bit too basic. It didn't have like a lot of dynamics to it. I mean, it was just a miniature version of what the Dreadnought was, and that's what I don't want to go for here. Because like I mentioned in the earlier video, I don't want to make my designs just a simple copy paste. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to have these to be unique, yet looking the part at the same time. Now, I'm not quite sure how many cargo containers I'm going to have in this, because keep in mind, this is going to be fueling 6 other ships in the fleet simultaneously. And with regards of the resource zones themselves, like the little resource transfer stations as I mentioned, I might have multiple ones of those, but only one of these. This is going to be a permanent part of the fleet, just like the medic ship will be. So I have to take that into account, lest I want to be screwed over. And I think I actually screwed up my measurements I did too. Damn it. Now I want to show you guys kind of what I have in mind here. Now what I'm going to say is going to be a complete contradiction to what I said previously, and this is going to be an odd number. No, wait, this will work. But this is going to be a bit based on the first ship that I had that I still need to rebuild. I'm focusing on these ships first before I go and rebuild the first one that I had. Basically, this one I will still be using the blade spinners because I think that's going to be a really cool take on one of these kinds of ships. But the design is going to be based on the first ship that I had for this fleet, but it's going to be a little bit different. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean here in a minute. Some of you guys are probably wondering, Rob, what the hell are you doing? Well, I want to try this with Dead Blades to see if it actually works. What the hell? Okay, I hit N and then somehow that happened. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. But anywho, I made some builds in the past that did use Dead Blades and it did work pretty well. Now I want to see how well this kind of thing would work. Now, what would be the best type of AI for this? Because this will be AI controlled just like the other ships in the fleet. Okay, they seem to be spinning. Let's see. I do have these set in continuous reverse, so this should theoretically move forward. Though right now it seems like it's just going back and forth, which is a bit weird. Whoa! It is moving backwards. I don't know why it's moving backwards, but it is moving. So I'm going to see now if I can actually try to get this into the air. Okay, I wanted to let you guys know something. I did have to make this a slightly bit bigger because I do want to have a proper center point for the Dead Blades that I'm going to be putting on this. Well, it actually looks kind of stubby, doesn't it? And there's also something else that I want to talk to you guys about too. And that is time lapses. I figured out how to do them, but here's the thing. I'm not sure how effective they'll be given how I built. Because Lathrix tried doing time lapses before, but with how he builds, he said that it would just make people nauseous, and I feel if I would have tried them myself, I end up with the same result because you guys have seen my building. My building is very quick and snappy, so I don't want to potentially run the risk of either giving some of you guys whiplash by the screen moving so quickly, or to potentially make you guys sick. So I want you guys to let me know what you guys think about me doing potential time lapses for this. I think that it could be a possibility that I would be able to do them correctly, though I'm not 100% sure. And that's something that I would ultimately have to try out myself, see if I can actually do it. But if I can, oh, wrong thing. If I can, you guys will actually start to see it in the videos. Because if I must be honest, I honestly like time lapses because you get to see the building process happen by an accelerated rate, so you don't have to sit through it, much like what I'm doing here. So, like I said, if that's something you guys want to see, please let me know. And another thing you guys have also noticed about the block choice that I picked. Wood. The person has been commenting on my front of this videos. Like I mentioned, it's a little bit overpowered for me to use the armor that I've been using. Because, I mean, like I mentioned in the previous video, this is going to be way in the back. So, having metal armor is just going to essentially be adding unnecessary weight. And that's not what I want. Sure, I do want this to be able to hold itself up in a battle. But at the same time, I also... Oh, this is moving forward, I think. Yeah, it is. Sweet. But at the same time, I don't want this to be essentially a heavily fortified aircraft. Because for as nice as it would be to have a beefed up cargo carrier, it wouldn't exactly make much sense practically, especially since like I said, it's going to be in the back anyway, so it's going to be out of harm's way. And plus, like, having this made out of wood, if this does happen to take a hit, and we do happen to lose some resources. And that's that little bit extra challenge. It's like, keep your cargo ship safe along with your other ships, because this ship is the main lifeline for the whole fleet. If this ship goes down, yeah, the resource income for the ship is lost, quite literally. So I mean, like I said, having something like this built the way that it is, yeah, I can honestly see why you make this out of wood. But I was kind of considering going with a lightweight alloy, but lightweight alloy is stronger than this. Even though it is lighter, so it would be easier to fly, but given the armor and the health value of it, that may not be such a very viable option either. I mean, wood, for being a basic material, is not that bad. I mean, well, it's not like glass. Though the funny thing is, I looked in the glass, and apparently it has slightly less health but more armor than wood. Which doesn't make any sense, because I mean, it's glass. You'd think that glass would have the least amount of stats given the material that it is, because I mean, we all know of glass cannons, we all know what they are. Incredibly powerful, but incredibly weak. So, like I said, having glass, even like slightly stronger than wood, wouldn't make any sense. Wait, would glass actually be heavier than wood, is the question. Because, now that I think about it, like a pane of glass is pretty heavy, but would be the same weight if it was size like a window, like a standard window size pane of glass. I don't actually know, to be honest, because I mean, like, normally when you think of wood, I either think in terms of weight, you would think of like a stick or like a tree or like a very big log, and like that's two extremes, because you can actually like legitimately throw sticks, but logs and full-on trees, you can't do it. Well, depending on the size of the logs, but I mean, even logs themselves, like freshly cut logs, still like have a considerable amount of weight to them. So I honestly don't know if you guys want to even bother answering this question. I mean, you guys can go right ahead. I mean, it's not really anything of like that significant importance, but it's just food for thought, basically. Like, what's heavier, a window-sized pane of glass or a window-sized sheet of wood? Like I said, I don't actually know. I should not have used the fill command for this. Whoops. Though this is going to leave kind of a satisfying hole once it's done. Look at that. Okay, it looks a little weird. Why did I do that? Here we go, that looks a lot better. Come to think of it now, this might actually be a bit easier to have everything filled in, because instead of like having to fill in every single block, yeah, instead of having to put in it block by block, all I have to do is just press F. You press F in the chat, you just fill out everything. Then all you have to do is just remove the remaining blocks, and this honestly is looking cooler the more I do with this. There's an English sentence in there somewhere. Alright, that's gonna do it this time, guys. We did major progress on the cargo carrier here. And next time, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the actual flight capabilities of this to see if we can actually make this thing fly. I have no clue if we're actually able to do that, but it'll be worth a shot. And see just how fast we can actually get this thing to go, because I mean, if set up correctly, this thing should be able to go pretty quick. But anyway, for now, raise the like button for depths if you guys enjoyed, subscribe, ring the bell if you guys want to see more stuff like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys. Ooh, this is something quite interesting. I haven't built something out of wood now in a while. We'll use a pure wood. This actually looks kind of cool, if I must be honest. Though the engines does seem a little bit out of proportion. I'm not sure what made those bigger, or just making them longer make a difference. I don't know.